What's up people, I'm Halls and this is Defeat the Enemy. Today we're taking a first look at The Witcher 3 on PS4. My PC probably would run the game, but technically the CPU was under the minimum spec, and so I didn't want to risk it, and to be honest I wanted an excuse to use the PlayStation because it's just gathering dust otherwise, so that's what I went with. Anyway, I've played through the prologue and opened up the main storyline, and these are my thoughts so far. The game starts off with you searching for Yennefer, as you were in The Witcher 2. You've tracked her down to a rural area under Nilfgaard's control, and over the course of the search you learn or relearn the basics of witchering, which have been tweaked a bit since The Witcher 2, as well as taking on a monster hunting contract for a griffin, and there's more contracts available if you want to take them on too. The core of the game is the same as ever. You have a main storyline to do with Geralt's personal issues and responsibilities, and you also take on monster hunting contracts along the way to earn a bit of extra money and what have you. Combat is a little bit different. Maybe it's adjusting to the controller after being so used to the mouse and keyboard, but things don't feel as fluid as they did in The Witcher 2. The way signs work is a little different too, so Quen seems a bit less useful, but the others seem a little bit more useful. Rolling with a controller also feels very different from mouse and keyboard. There's a new dodge move too that I haven't really experimented with yet. Overall it feels a bit more actiony but a bit less strategic, and I feel like I have less control than I did in The Witcher 2, although maybe I just need a bit of practice. I've only just started playing, obviously. As for presentation, the game looks and sounds fantastic. The graphics, music, sound effects and voice acting are all very high quality. The story is pretty solid so far too. The storylines in the Witcher games are usually some kind of mystery, which keeps things interesting for me. I like that kind of story, so that's good for me. The only complaint I have so far is that sometimes it's a bit fiddly getting a context-sensitive icon to show up. For instance, when you're getting on a horse, it can be a bit difficult sometimes, or trying to light a torch, trying to open a container next to a corpse. Just like sort of various little things where you can't quite get the context sensitive thing to do what you want it to. That could be an issue in The Witcher 2 as well though. Often it was difficult to light torches, or you'd light torches when you didn't want to and what have you. So I guess fiddly torches is just a Witcher thing. You've got to just take it under your belt. Is that the right saying? Under your belt. Take it in your stride. That's what I'm trying to say. So you just take it in your stride, I guess. It's a Witcher thing. Also, the game hasn't really explained how we went from the end of Witcher 2 to the start of Witcher 3. I left the town in Witcher 3 with Roach and Triss, and then now it's the start of 3 and I'm riding around with an old Witcher guy, and Triss is nowhere to be seen. They didn't really explain how you went from one to the other. Maybe it's written down somewhere, buried in a menu or something like that, but it didn't jump out at me. I didn't really take the time to look, but yeah, it wasn't obvious just from playing the game. So enjoying the game so far. It looks and sounds great, and the story is pretty interesting too. So now I just need to get the hang of combat, and I'm good to go. I'm tempted to go for a platinum on my first run, although that may be crazy. I do need to restart the game though, because some guy online said that the Death March difficulty was permadeath. So I naturally started one notch below that, but it turns out he was full of shit, and you unlock the permadeath mode by beating the game. So because if I'm playing Deathmarch, I want to play Deathmarch all the way through. So I'm going to start again on Deathmarch and spend more time doing side quests and mini games in the prologue area, because I kind of rushed through it a little bit anyway. So yeah, these were my initial impressions of the game. I'll be back at a later date with my final thoughts once I beat the game, but judging by the size of the fucking thing, it may be quite some time.